you're probably stuck in a financial trap and don't even realize it. You're doing the right thing. You're attacking your debt, cutting expenses, maybe even picking up a side hustle. But here's the problem. You're walking a financial tightrope with no safety net. One emergency, and it's game over. Most people think that paying off debt should be the #1 priority. And yes, debt is dangerous, but not having cash when life hits you hard, that's even worse. Here's something no one tells you. Focusing 100% on debt while ignoring your savings is one of the fastest ways to stay broke. Why? Because every time something unexpected happens, and it will happen, you'll be forced to borrow again. A broken water heater, a vet bill, a job layoff. It doesn't matter what it is. Without an emergency fund, you go straight back to credit cards or loans. And now you're back at square one. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete strategy to build an emergency fund without pausing your debt payments. You'll know exactly how much to save, how to structure it, where to keep it, and how to protect your progress, even if your income feels tight right now. This isn't theory, it's the system people use every day to get out of the cycle, and it works. Let me tell you what changed it all for me. I used to put every single extra dollar toward debt. It felt like a noble mission. Pay off the loans, be free. Then my laptop died. No backup, no savings. I had freelance deadlines, no choice but to throw the repair on a 19% APR credit card. What was worse, that emotional punch in the gut? I had worked for months to reduce my debt, and it evaporated in one weekend. That's when I realized something critical. An emergency fund isn't a luxury, it's protection. If you're in debt, you actually need it more than people who aren't. Because debt makes you vulnerable. And savings give you leverage. But here's what most people ask me. How can I build savings when I'm already barely covering my bills? That's what we're going to break down. Because you don't need to save $10,000. You don't need to stop paying debt. You just need a plan that's realistic for your current situation. By the end of this video, you'll have it. No guilt, no overwhelm. Just a smart way to take control of your finances without feeling like you're drowning. And it all starts with a simple question. Why should you build an emergency fund while paying off debt in the first place? It might feel counterintuitive. You've got high-interest debt breathing down your neck, and I'm telling you to put money aside? Yes, because if you don't, you'll never escape the cycle. Debt is a hole, but a lack of savings, that's the shovel. Let me explain. Imagine this. You're doing well. You've paid off $2,000 in debt over a few months. You feel proud. But then your car won't start. The repair costs $800. No savings, that means using your credit card. Now you're back in debt, probably with interest piling up faster than before. That's not progress, that's a loop. It's like running uphill with a backpack full of rocks. Every time you trip, you slide further back. Now here's the mindset shift. You're not choosing between saving or paying off debt. You're choosing long-term stability over short-term illusion. That's why even just $500 in a separate savings account can be life-changing. Let me tell you about a guy named Alex. He had $12,000 in credit card debt. But instead of throwing every dollar into it, he built a tiny emergency fund first, $600 over 3 months. That fund saved him when he got a surprise dental bill. He paid it in cash, not with a loan. That moment, it kept him on track with his debt plan. More importantly, it gave him something new: control. Because here's the truth. Every dollar in savings is a dollar you don't have to borrow later. And that means fewer fees, less interest, less stress. But let's get practical. How much should you save? The goal isn't to build a massive emergency fund right now. We're not talking about 6 months of expenses while you still have a mountain of debt. Start with a mini emergency fund, a buffer, something like $500 to $1,000. Just enough to handle a car repair, a medical bill, or a last-minute expense without spiraling. But I don't have $500 lying around. That's okay, you build it slowly. Even $10 a week matters. Even $5 a day makes a difference. Because this isn't about speed, it's about direction. Once you have that mini fund, you can go harder on debt without fear. You stop reacting to life. You start planning for it. And that's where the next step comes in: how to balance saving with debt payments without falling behind on either one. We'll break that down next, with real numbers, real examples, and a method that works whether you earn $2,000 or $10,000 a month. Let's get tactical. You've got limited money, you've got competing goals. So how do you save and pay off debt without sabotaging either one? You need a simple, balanced system. And the first step is changing how you think about your income. Most people follow this formula: income, expenses, debt, save what's left, if anything. That never works. Here's the better formula. Income, save first, cover essentials, pay debt, cut the rest. You prioritize savings before throwing money at your loans. Why? Because you're building a financial cushion, a runway that protects your momentum. Let's break it down with real numbers. Say you earn $3,000 a month after taxes. You're living lean, and your fixed expenses, rent, utilities, food, transport, take up $2,000. That leaves $1,000. Now, the old mindset would say, put the full $1,000 toward debt. But instead do this. Set aside $100 to $200 for your emergency fund until you hit your first milestone. Use the rest, $800 to $900, for debt payments. But won't that slow down my debt payoff? Yes, slightly, but here's the twist. It speeds up your progress long term because you're not stopping every time life hits you. The $200 in savings this month might prevent a $500 setback next month. It's like putting armor on before going into battle. You don't charge in vulnerable, hoping nothing goes wrong. Let's say you already have your mini emergency fund in place, $1,000 saved. What then? Now you flip the ratio. Go aggressive on debt. Keep the savings intact, only top it up if you dip into it. You're no longer playing defense. Now you can attack. There's also a trick I recommend to stay disciplined. Automate your savings. Set a recurring transfer right after payday, $25, $50, whatever you can manage. When it's automatic, you stop debating with yourself every month. The decision is already made. Same with debt payments. Automate the minimums and then schedule your extra payments on the same day each month, right after you've saved. That way, your plan doesn't get hijacked by impulse or anxiety. Now, here's something crucial most people miss. Don't mix your emergency fund with your checking account. Keep it in a separate savings account, preferably in a different bank. You want it out of sight but still accessible. Not in stocks, not in crypto. This is not an investment, it's insurance. And every time you hit a new savings milestone, $250, $500, $1,000, celebrate it. Because you're not just saving money. You're buying peace of mind. You're buying options. You're buying time when life gets unpredictable. Now that you've got the system, how do you stay motivated to keep going when it feels like progress is slow? That's what we'll get into next. Let's be honest, this path isn't glamorous. You won't see headlines about someone who quietly built a $1,000 emergency fund. No one throws a party because you saved $30 this week instead of eating out. But that's the hidden truth about wealth. It's not built in loud moments, it's built in silence. In tiny decisions, in consistency, in saying no today so you can say yes to the right things tomorrow. Because every time you choose to save, even just a little, you're planting a seed. And those seeds grow. The challenge is staying committed when the rewards feel far away. So how do you do it? You shift your focus from results to behavior. You stop obsessing over how fast the numbers move and instead ask, am I showing up? Am I making progress I can control? And when you start stacking those small wins, saving $50, avoiding a new debt trap, hitting your $1,000 target, something incredible happens. You stop seeing yourself as someone trying to get ahead, and you start seeing yourself as someone who's already in control. That shift, it's more valuable than money. Because once you become the kind of person who saves, who prepares, who plans ahead, you can take that mindset into everything: investing, business, career moves, family planning. Let me tell you a quick story. There was a woman I coached once, Sarah. Single mom, working 2 jobs, buried in debt. She thought she couldn't save anything, but we started with $5 a week. That's it. 6 months later, she had $600, a small emergency hit. Her son needed an urgent medical visit. She paid it in cash, no panic, no guilt, no spiral. Her confidence exploded. She called me the next month and said, "I don't feel scared anymore. For the first time, I feel safe." That's what this is about. Not perfection, not performance. Peace. But let's bring this all together. Here's your roadmap. Step 1, commit to building a mini emergency fund, no matter how small you start. Step 2, automate your savings and treat it like a bill. It's non-negotiable. Step 3, keep saving until you hit $500, $1,000, even if it takes a few months. Step 4, once your safety net is in place, attack your debt with focused intensity. Step 5, use your emergency fund only for real emergencies, then refill it immediately. This is how you break the cycle. You stop being reactive. You start being intentional. You go from stress to strategic. And that feeling, waking up knowing you're protected, knowing that one setback won't destroy your progress, that's real freedom. So if this video gave you clarity, do 2 things. Smash that like button so YouTube knows this is worth sharing. Hit subscribe for more no BS financial strategies that help you build real wealth step by step. And comment below, where are you right now in your journey? Still drowning in debt, just starting to save, or finally feeling some peace? I want to hear your story. Because remember, no matter where you are, it's never too late to take back control. Your future self is already thanking you for starting today.